Hey, everybody. I have a very, very special guest today. To me, she is a modern day hero. I am so inspired by this woman. You won't even believe. Just wait till you hear her story, because she has been through the ringer in life. She has made her mistakes and paid dearly for them. And she has always come through and come back with more and more integrity and truth and honor every time. And she just, I mean, it gives me chills. This woman is incredible. She has a veterinary office in Kentucky and is the only one in the entire county that she knows of that still has her doors open and allows you to bring your pets in. And she's been begging and pleading her clients to please take those masks off. Please take them off. And she's been trying to explain to even her employees and everybody. She's been like, desperately trying to plead with them, please, find out about the deeper agenda that's going on behind this. Ask yourself why this is happening, So can you can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your history, maybe how you even came to know all this information and all of this that I'm talking about? Maybe just share what you've been through this crazy time.
Well, do you want me to share my story about the problems I had before all of this, or do you want to just talk about recent stuff?
They said yes. My guide said yes. So go ahead and start with the history of that just shows the integrity that you have. And then because a lot of people have made their own mistakes in life and, they didn't have the guts to do what you did. And I think it's incredible that you've been able to reestablish yourself and that you're tremendously successful today. So let's start there. Let's just jump in and be brave. Here we go. And then we'll go. And,
Okay.
people could watch this and they could say, oh, well, she went through this, that, and the other thing is, yes, she did. And she totally stepped up and now, she did the brave thing and she's doing it again. It just proves that she has integrity. So yeah, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Pam Johnson. I'm a veterinarian in Mount Washington, Kentucky, which is a suburb of Louisville. And I'm in a small county, which is actually growing rapidly. It's called Bullitt County. And I am one of 6 veterinarians here. I was the 3rd person to open my clinic here in Kentucky, in Bullitt County. And then 3 other vets have come in, and everybody's coming from the city into Louisville. So it's really grown. I opened my clinic in '97. And opened it from scratch. I was 28 years old when I did it. And I had been working at another clinic. So I had already some clients and they came over and started with me. But I'll just kind of fast forward. I've had 6 back surgeries because I had a really bad accident when I was 22 on a horse and ruptured 3 lower discs in my back. And I ended up finding out that hydrocodone was the best thing ever. Sorry, my puppy.
It's okay.
I started taking hydrocodone because I figured out that not only did it make me feel better, but it took the pain away at first. And then I had the bright idea of using my own drug license to get pills. And I did that for 3 years. At the height of my addiction, and I was working through this whole thing, I was taking 15 10s a day of hydrocodone. I was functioning with that. And at some point, I had ordered 13,000 pills in 3 years for myself. And I'm kind of a rebel. I have a little bit of I don't like to listen to authority. I have that problem. And so, you go to the doctor and they want to charge you $50 and then to give you a prescription. And it was like all the time. And I said, you know what? I'm not gonna do that anymore. I'm just going to get my own because it's cheap and I can use my drug license. So that was a really stupid decision, but I did it and I got caught. I actually ended up going to my doctor and calling him one day. And I said, I'm really in trouble. I need help. I'm going to end up dying if I don't do something about this. And so he got me into a pain management specialist, and they put me on methadone. And I was on that for about a month. And then I said, forget it. And I just quit cold turkey. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So I completely quit and went through detox, which was horrible. And I've done that twice, actually, gone through trying to get off pills. So in the interim of all of this craziness going on, my mother got Alzheimer's disease and I went through a divorce. I got with a very abusive boyfriend, and my mother was my best friend. So when she got sick, it was like, you know, you lost your best friend. The body is there, but they're not there anymore. So it was a really hard adjustment for me. So I started looking for love, just for somebody to save me from all of this. Are you there still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. It looked like the camera was freezing a little bit.
Did you go to jail or anything?
Yeah. So I'm getting there.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
in all of this, I met somebody online who I thought was a real man.
Okay.
And because I was in such a horrible mental state, I believed him. And I thought that he was telling me the truth. And he told me that he was going to save me and help me with all of this. And I just needed somebody to help me. My mother wasn't, you know, around anymore, and I don't have a family. So she was it for me. And I made some really stupid decisions, and I ended up giving $200,000 away to this man. And the police showed up at my door, and they were like, you know, you stole this money from your mother. And I was like, no, I didn't. It was my money. I drained all my retirement accounts, everything that I had. And so he was in here, and I, you know, obviously told him the story and everything, but the cop that arrested me, he came back a week later, actually sent somebody else to arrest me. And they put me in jail because they accused me of stealing the money from my mom. And actually, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. That changed my whole life.
Wow.
My whole entire view of everything changed. I went from being angry, hateful, poor me, pity party, everybody hates me, I have nothing, my life sucks, I hate everything, to, oh my God, I love everything. I love my pillow. I love my blanket. I love dental floss. I love a toothbrush. I love a fork and a spoon and real water and food and all of that, because I sat in that jail cell for a week. And that's what God did. He picked me up and put me in that jail cell and said, until you figure out that you are messing your life up, I'm going to sit you here and let you think about it. And that's exactly what happened. And it completely changed me.
Wow. That's incredible.
I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the experience. I really am, even though it was the worst moment of my life.
So how did you face going back to your practice after that? I mean, I'm sure the word got out. And did you get proven innocent? Did they figure it out that it wasn't her money? Okay. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. So I hired an attorney, and that cost me $5,000. And you want to talk about embarrassment. Now, I am a big fish in a little town. I've got a big business. I'm successful, and everybody knows me. And here I am in handcuffs and a jumpsuit, shackled and chained in front of all my attorney clients, all my sheriff clients, all my clients, my judges, all of them were my clients. And they let me out of jail. And the other prosecuting attorney didn't show up twice to court, and they dropped the case. So I ended up, getting out of it. But I came back here, and I had a stack. I mean, I'm talking like a 3-foot stack of patients that people called and said, we saw her on the news. I meant to tell you, the news was there within literally 10 minutes of me being arrested. They put me in the back of the cop car, drove me down to the jail, and the news shows up. And they're like, they're taking my mugshot, and they're like, do you want to be interviewed, Dr. Johnson? I'm sobbing, and I'm like, no, of course I don't want to be interviewed. So it was all over the TV. It was all over the news. It was all over the veterinary world. It was everywhere. Like, everybody knew. So when I finally came back here, I started calling people, and I told them the truth, and I told everybody, and I just started calling one person after the other and telling them what happened. And I asked them all for forgiveness. And I said, please trust me. Please understand this has changed me. Please understand this was a mistake. And I got all my clients back. So I built my business from nothing all the way back up again. And I honestly believe that God has blessed me and blessed me and blessed me. I really believe that, because I feel like I do. I've had the courage and the strength and the wherewithal to do it on my own every day because I have nobody else. There's nobody there to fall back on. I don't have a family member. I have nobody. I'm just me. I don't have parents. I have no family. So I had to do it. If I wanted to stay in my house and keep all my stuff and keep my business, I had to pick myself up and keep going. That's how I did it. And, you know, it was a great lesson.
That's incredible.
So thank you.
You're welcome.
So when all this COVID stuff started happening, everybody was panicked. Everybody was wearing masks. And I have extra time on my hands in the afternoon. And I just started watching all kinds of videos and trying to figure out what was going on. And
and you were watching me.
Of course, I met you. And then the actual, what red pilled me was the fall of the cabal. That red pilled me. And I was shocked. I mean, you know, what is going on? And then I started, like, that rebel in me came back out, and I was like, I'm not going to wear a mask. I'm not doing this. I'm not going to shut my business down. I'm not having people tell me what I'm going to do.
And that, by the way, if anybody wants to watch that, look it up on bitshoot.com. Just go there and put Fall of the Cabal with a C, CABAL. It's about a 3-hour documentary, and it'll tell you the behind the scenes of what's going on right now in our world. Okay, so continue. So you got really defensive. You got the mama bear thing going on like I did.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people are scared. You know, people have fear because that's what the news is showing everybody. And then I, you know, started figuring out that they're just lying to us. And I started watching all these things and figuring out what's really going on. And the end of it is going to be amazing. I mean, God always wins. It's going to be amazing once we get to the other side of it. But
absolutely. So, but what have you had to endure? Like, what was it like? You refused to put a sign up on your door, which I think saved your butt, because a lot of store owners don't realize that the mandates are actually requests, voluntary requests to cooperate. And if you go along with it, then you can be fined and sued or whatever. You can be charged and fined based on you cooperating. But if you say no to it, and if you say, I'm not going to do this, I'm not volunteering to do this at all, then you can't get fined or penalized or anything because you never got involved. So that they got tricked, they got duped because they never looked into it, and they just blindly followed what everybody else was doing. And they were afraid, they were people pleasing, afraid, oh, if I, go against the grain, the worst will happen to me. They didn't have any faith. But you never put the sign up on your door. You never turned people away. In fact, all of your clients, you were just like, please don't wear that. Please, don't believe what they're saying on the news. What else were you saying to your clients?
Well, when they come in, the first thing I say is you can take that mask off. And then 90% of people say, oh, thank God. And they rip it off their face,
Wow.
And I usually try not to red pill people too hard, because some people are okay with it. And some people are really against, they're very resistant. And a lot of people are very attached to that thing on your face. They think that it's protecting them, or they're protecting you. And they think it's a good thing, and it's not a good thing. It's very unhealthy. And I'll tell them it's not healthy for you to breathe your own CO2. It's not healthy. Oh, really? So some people will finally take it off. And then when we get into the whole, jab thing, I tell people, I tell them, but most people don't believe me. They just don't. I think that I try to tell some people, I try to tell them what's going on. And a lot of people they don't see it, because they're in the matrix. They're still watching news and all of that, they don't know anything. So what I did find out the other day is that out of Jefferson County, Louisville, which is huge, and Bullitt County and all of the surrounding counties, I am literally the only doctor that would allow people into the building for euthanasias or to come in with their pet. I mean, people want to be with that's their children. They want to be with their kids, right? I mean, that's their babies. Yeah. So of course I let them in. And I'm not, I take care of myself. I take vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, multivitamin, I take antioxidants, I take C60, I take all these things to keep my immune system strong, and I try to tell people that. I'll kind of put that little, are you taking vitamin D? I'll ask clients, you should be on vitamin D. Are you on that? I try to kind of tell people this is what you can do to help your immune system. So most people listen, but some people.
Well, so you've probably really planted a lot of seeds out there that have really been helping people to awaken. I mean, you've gotten a lot of flack from what I understand. I mean, you got to tell me about the hatred you've gotten, even from your employees, like, making fun of you or, what's happened there?
Well, my employees now, because I pretty much talk about it every day, they're pretty used to it. And also, there's a girl that's not here any longer that she kind of didn't believe anything that was going on. And she would kind of taunt me a little bit, but she's not here anymore. I make it a point to get rid of all the toxic people in my life.
Good.
And she's a toxic person. So, I mean, my employees here, what I tell people is if I start talking about it too much, sometimes my friend, my employee, Ashley, she'll kind of like elbow me and like, stop it, stop it, shut up. Because I want to talk about it. I want to tell people, but I think she thinks that I'm scaring people or that, they're not here they're here for you to see their pet, not
that is a really good point.
I don't know if
yeah, that is a really good point. But I think that it's good to be planting those seeds of doubt, So
I try.
Talking about seeds of doubt, how about jabs normally with animals? Like a lot of people just, they've been programmed for a long time that jabs are a good thing to get to protect their pet or whatever. So tell me about that.
Well, my opinion is that puppies under a year need parvo. They need 4 boosters of parvo. That's really the only disease that we're still seeing. We don't see a lot of distemper unless they're out there and they get messed with a coon or something, a raccoon, because they carry it. But typically you don't see distemper unless it's a kennel situation. You don't see hepatitis. This is all, DHPP, parainfluenza, distemper, parvo. It's all in one vaccine. Rabies is required by law. So I understand that, because it has been eradicated. We did have a problem with rabies in the country, for a long time, and it's gone now, very few cases. But then after that, they don't need all these shots every year. They don't. But I think it's a big moneymaker, and I think that a lot of people won't. The pharmaceutical industries try to push that because they want people to spend the money on it. It's a very big moneymaker, basically I charge $48 to give a shot. It includes my exam, but that's a lot of money for a $6 shot, and I just tell people you don't need that after they get to a certain age. So I think everybody's way over vaccinated. I really do. But I don't think that the animal vaccines are as harmful as the human vaccines. But to be honest with you, I really don't know if there's mercury in the animal vaccines. I never even found that out. That would be a good thing.
We need to use another word though, so that we don't get in trouble.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry, I started. Animal vaccine.
Yeah, we have immune systems for a reason, animals and humans. We don't need what they're giving us. And even I've heard all kinds of stories, including my own, where I had a little best friend who really didn't have any problems. She seemed completely, totally healthy. And I was going to leave her at the kennel to go to France, a trip to France, I believe it was. And they required that she have a shot, and it killed her. It killed her. And I've never been able, it's the hardest thing to get over that, and she looked so scared to get that shot. It's like she knew. She was just like, no, get me out of here. And she didn't normally act like that. So I knew something was wrong and I didn't listen to my gut back then. Now I've made a living by listening to my gut. And that's to honor Tika, because, she sacrificed herself for me. But, there are so, what people don't realize is, what was that?
Yeah. I have seen animals have anaphylactic reactions, where you give them a V and they fall right on the floor, turn white. I've seen it happen.
Wow.
Yeah, it's scary, especially pugs. They're really prone to that.
And I doubt that, do doctors or vets or do you guys, I saw somebody talk once, a doctor said that you just look, basically when you get one of these new medications or something, you just skim over it. You don't even really read the entire thing. It's real fine print. It's on rice paper practically, very difficult to read. And then what you just do is jump to the summary down to the bottom, which is just like a paragraph that just says, do this, that, and the other thing. But you don't actually know if those things are actually good for the animal or for you or whatever. And it's just like, we're just being programmed, the professionals are being programmed just to do this tiny little statement that they tell us to do. And we're not questioning it or examining it or using any kind of, because I mean, vets and doctors are really busy. They don't have the time to scrutinize every little thing and look at all the study. I mean, according to this doctor that was talking, like you don't even, there's all these studies and everything, all these results and statistics on the pamphlet itself that actually show that it's damaging. And they don't tell you that. They don't show that in the summary. They just say, give it to them 3 times a day. And it's like, whoa,
Yeah.
Is this right? I mean, is that?
Well, I have been using the same medications that I've been comfortable with for a long, long time. And so if I do have something that's presented to me by one of my reps that come in and say, this is new, I do read all through it. Like flea pills, flea and tick pills, for instance, some of them can cause problems like seizures and things. So it's kind of a catch-22, you don't want to have fleas, but you're worried about giving your animal something that's going to be toxic to them. And the other thing I was going to say is that a lot of people, they'll bring their animal in if it's either sick or it needs a shot, right? So that is a way that we have been programmed to get people in here once a year to see their pets.
Yeah.
And we do it through your pet needs a shot. So come in and get a shot so I can see your pet. That's how it's been.
That's exactly.
And it's a marketing. It's a marketing thing is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to see the pet in here regardless of whether I give it anything, because I want to make sure it's healthy,
Yeah.
So that's what I tell people. At least just bring them in here so I can look and I can listen to their heart and check their ears and their teeth and all that, and make sure that they're okay, even if they don't need anything. Just bring them in here once a year. But it's all about money. It's always about money.
Totally. And the
human
bigger agenda and the bigger picture they're trying to drive.
Right.
Which is, I won't even go into that right now. But and you guys can always ask Pam yourself, if you're in the area or whatever. I mean, I'm sure she'd share her knowledge with you if you guys really want to know what's really going on. It's just I just think it's commendable that you've gone your own route against all the persecution you've received and all the flack you've gotten and the whole thing. And now it just feels like it's starting to actually benefit you, and it's really working out to where
it really is.
They're giving you credibility. It's giving you credibility that you've stood strong through this whole time.
It really is.
And
no,
I wish so many more store owners would have done this. I wish they would have thought for themselves and they really would have held strong like you have, because we need more,
and also
more warriors like you. Yeah.
Well, also I'm a single person here. I own the clinic. It's not corporate, where a lot of veterinarians have sold to corporate now. So
that's true.
The person at the top of the ladder is the one that makes the decisions. The veterinarians don't have anything. They have no decision making whatsoever. They have zero control. And I have all the control here because I own my own place and I'm the only doctor here. So it's my way, and I like it like that. Plus, I'm personable with people. I'm very down to earth and I explain things to them and I take the time to show them things, and I don't just give their dog a shot and send it out the door. I talk to them. And so I think that and also people hearing, go to Johnson. She allows you to go into the clinic. If you need to euthanize your pet, go to her. She'll allow you to be there with your cat or your dog.
Absolutely.
So I think that it really has benefited me because my business is just taken off.
That's incredible. And you deserve it. And Yeah, and what people don't realize too is those shots are poison. They're just poison, and both in humans and pets. And when people say, "But I know people who've died of the disease," they have not died of the disease, you guys. They've died of the cures. They die of the ventilators. They die of the other things and drugs and things that they give you in the hospitals. The people who have the illness and they stay home and they boost their immune system, they get over it, me included. I did it. I did it staying at home and boosting my immune system. I beat it. So as long as you don't go to the hospital or go to a doctor, you'll be okay. Just boost your immune system and take like Ivor blank. Take Ivor blank. And I've known a lot of people who've been able to overcome it just like that by taking that. There are some really simple
Right.
and cheap ways. You could even you could even get
That the
horse-
H word, the H word, that HY
Oh yeah.
that you
The
make yourself. Yeah.
hider something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That you can literally boil lemon and grapefruit skin, and that's what it is. It's
Yes.
basically quinine.
Yeah, it is quinine, and you can get quinine also in tonic water.
Yeah,
So just
that's
drink tonic water. I drink tonic water all the time. Every night I drink some.
But
and not because of that, but I just really enjoy it. But it's really good for you too, so why not? But yeah, there are some good cheap ways, in natural ways that you can be combating everything that's going on right now. It's absolutely ridiculous to be requiring people to have those shots. Absolutely ridiculous. It's not about the shots at all. It's not about the illness at all, you guys. So I think people are waking up to that.
Hey. Sorry about that.
And I just commend you. I think you're an incredible human being to stand up and be a warrior at this time and be a leader and be the example to so many people. And I thank you for being you and having this level of integrity and honor that you are exhibiting. Thank you for not giving in, and thank you for not crumbling under the pressure and the persecution. You seriously are a hero of today. And I think you guys you deserve a medal for what you've done. And I wish that
it's about critical
people. Huh?
It's about critical thinking. It's about thinking for yourself and not following the masses, like the sheeple, right?
What would you say to other business owners?
Don't watch the news on TV. That's for sure. Don't watch that. It's
absolutely.
Right. They are lying everywhere.
Yeah, they truly are. They truly are.
All going to be amazing in the end.
Yeah. I'm seeing more and more truths come out recently, though. It's a really good sign. The fact that there's all these protests in Australia and all over the world that are happening, and they're finally actually getting on mainstream media. And I think that's because the good guys are in charge, and they know that it's time to start giving a little bit of relief. Let's have a little bit of relief. Yes. We'll show some of this on mainstream media. Whereas before, they were totally glossing over it. They weren't even showing that kind of thing. And now they're allowing it. So, and that guy getting off as innocent. There's so many great things starting to happen right now that are just such a relief. And it shows that we're headed in the right direction. But what do you want to say to any store owners right now as to how do you give them some courage right now? Give some encouragement and courage to break the spell, to break the spell themselves. What would you say?
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with self-education and seeing it for yourself and knowing the truth of it. If you don't know the truth of it, you're not going to be able to change anything because you don't have the knowledge. You have to be able to do the research yourself. So you're armed with the knowledge of, if somebody says something to you, you just say, well, my belief is this, and this is what I'm going to stand for. I can't wear a mask. I'm in menopause. If I wear a mask, I am sweating everywhere. So I'm just not going to wear one. I don't even wear one in surgery. The only reason to wear a mask is basically so you don't cough or spit into the surgical site, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
There's no reason to wear a mask, completely no reason to. So it's totally bad for you. You're just breathing in all your own bacteria, all your own exhaust, It
doesn't help spread anything. It doesn't help. protect you from
Doesn't help
anything.
stop any.
It's
No,
like,
I mean,
yeah,
they always say like, it's, what do they say? It's like a fly going through a chain link fence, you know, or a mosquito going through a chain link fence. I mean, that virus go right through it. It's certainly
yeah,
not going to stop, you know, not to mention how
absolutely.
bad it is, you know, covering
So,
up.
so,
We need
so people are,
oxygen to breathe.
yeah, so people are believing the nonsense, and they're getting sick because they're taking poisons that people are telling them are actually good for them, that are supposedly boosting your immune system, but they're not. They're total lies. So they're taking the poison to break down their immune system, and they're still breathing everything in, thinking they're protected from some kind of thing on their face that's not protecting them, and neither is the shot. So it's like these people who think that they're taking something to be responsible. It's just an outright lie. It's totally them just being in disillusionment, and they're just walking around just making themselves sicker and sicker the more shots they get, and believing all
Yes.
the nonsense. And the fear breaks down their immune system too. All of it's just
Right.
to set them up to crumble, and they're crumbling.
And I think a lot of people don't have the time to do what you and I do, to really watch and listen and read and do all that. I have a lot of time when I'm not working, so I can really do it. And I'm always interested in improving myself, always. So I'm interested in learning new things. And that's how I started looking at all this stuff. But I think a lot of people are just, they're so in the 3D that they just live their lives and they do their thing, and they just don't think about anything else other than their little blinders, you know?
It's so true. And I don't know, like when you talk to these guys, to me, they sound like parrots that are just regurgitating what's on the television. I mean, sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, you're like a robot zombie or something. Like they're saying, it's all about the science. I trust the science. I believe in the science. Well, maybe silence too, but they believe in the science, but they don't realize the science is a bunch of fake. It's a bunch of fake made up scientific documents, you know, that are just spouting a bunch of lies for them to believe. And it's just like, you don't know what if you're not doing research on like back channels like BitChute and places like that, you know, it's probably a made up article just to make it look like, hey, the V's are safe. Hey, the V's have been proven to be okay. They have all this fake information out there, and they're not even reading the articles. They're just going by what they hear on the news and from their friends. I believe the science. They're just like walking around. I believe the science. I believe the science. My family has died. My friends have died from it. And none of them are like critically thinking outside the box as to, does this even make sense, you guys? Could there possibly be an agenda behind this? Because it just does not make sense. Why would you sit at a table in a room full of people without this thing on your face and be safe? But yet you come in the door with it on, and then you go, just the whole thing is just absolute nonsense. And honestly, it's Luciferian. I mean, even the Luciferians in their ceremonies, they will stand 6 feet apart, and they will have the mask covering their faces. They're trying to train us to be Luciferians. Ultimately, I mean, that's part of what's behind this, you guys. If you don't have a hint or a clue that something sinister is going on here, you know, it's time to wake up and take a look, and not to make you afraid. This is not to make you afraid. What's happening right now is we're waking up to what's been going on and what we've been falling for this whole time, so that we can now be aware and start training our children and start repairing some of these things that have happened that have kind of broken our society, because we've been so programmed for so long that it's like we need to wake up with the fear, and kind of like a fire alarm going off. We got to wake up and then start running. You know, we got to start going and rebuilding and restoring our world, and start standing up against the tyranny and the lies. And when we have to start, like I looked at some cards last night, and the message was very clear that the fear and stuff that they're putting out there on the news and all of that stuff, and all of this stuff escalating, was absolutely 100% so that we could get in our power and rise up like you have. It's for this purpose.
You know what? One thing I was noticing the other day is that I'm on Facebook, and I'm always sharing things that I see about what's going on, you know, and there's only probably a handful, maybe 5 people that will respond, you know. But if you put a picture of your pet up there, you'll get 100 likes, right? But not if you put something that's really going on. It's like people don't want to know. They literally are so scared. They just almost like, I can't look. I don't want to know. And my best friend, like one of my best friends, I told her the other day about it. And she was like, you sound like you're insane. And she's like, don't tell me anymore. And I'm like, you don't want to know? She's like, no, I don't want to know. Like, that's not, we need to stand up for ourselves. And that's the only way this is going to get fixed, is that we stand up for ourselves as a human race and say we are sovereign beings, right? Because they're not going to do it. They're not going to fit. I mean, we need to do it for ourselves. That's even what the Galactic Federation said. We have to do it. We have to. So it's, you know, I'm hoping that disclosure happens soon so people will really start seeing what's going on. But that movie is coming out in February.
Oh, good.
Sound
What's the name of that movie?
Sound of Freedom.
Sound of Freedom. Yeah, yeah. That's going to be so good.
Yes, that'll be a huge disclosure.
That'd be so amazing. That'd be so amazing. I think quite even more than that.
What's frustrating for me is that I try to tell people as much scary stuff is going on right now, it's all going to be amazing in the end. I tell people it's going to be amazing. Like, yes. I'm not trying to put fear into you. I'm trying to put joy and like elation and, oh my God, it's going to be a new earth. It's going to be beautiful. And everybody's going to be happy and healthy. Like, that's where we're going.
Yeah.
I tell everybody, God always wins.
There's going to be harmony. There isn't going to be any racism anymore. No more separation, no more division. That's all being caused by the Luciferian systems. Our kids aren't going to be taken from us anymore. There are not going to be any more missing children. No more scams. No more people lying, stealing, cheating. All that stuff is going to be gone. But we have to see it for what it is. You know, it's kind of like when you've been in an abusive relationship. It's like once you see it in a certain light, once you've left it behind and you see it for the ugly thing it is, and you appreciate that you went through it because it made you stronger and whatnot, then you look back at it and you're like, you know what? I love myself now, and I'm never going to allow myself to go through that kind of thing again. I'm never going to allow myself to be treated like less than I deserve again. You know, so that's what we're going to have happen. And that's what we're going through. I think that a lot of the sleepers are people who just are unhealed and haven't actually taken a look at their pain, you know, so it's been one trauma on top of another and on top of another that they've been stuffing and stuffing and stuffing.
Yeah. So and they just go in their little lives and their little lanes, and they don't ever think outside the box because they don't want to, because of the fear. Yeah. It's all about the fear of it. Yeah.
But what I think is going to happen though, is these just, you know, these little seeds are being planted that are poking little holes in their bubble until finally it's going to either explode or deflate. And they're going to be left with, okay, what now? Well, I better start taking a look at this. I better start. Or it can be an aha moment, like a miracle, you know, that makes them just cry and feel this relief of, it's not as scary to look at your shadows as you think. I mean, there have been so many things, so much has happened to me. And I've just kept choosing the higher road every single time. When I could have gone this way easily, felt like a victim, chose victim mentality the whole way. So many different ways, so many different times. I mean, but you have to keep being willing to look at yourself and to grow and do that self-exploration and become more self-aware and have more of a sense of humor about it all. You have to keep evolving to keep with what's going on. Or it's either going to, you know, crush you and take you down in quicksand because you just become smaller and smaller and smaller, trying to hide from it all. Or you open your heart and you expand and you heal and you have miracles start happening and incredible synchronicities and you feel so blessed. It takes a little bit of a leap of faith to go that direction of God and goodness and spirit and all of that. But man, it's really not as scary as you think. And you can have a cry, you can laugh at yourself, you can let it all go in one foul big, I was really holding on to that, you know? So anyone who's watching this and they're like on the brink, they have a bunch of caught up feelings right now and they're feeling like, oh, like, I don't want to let it go because that's your ego just holding on to the last little bits of ego left. Pop that bubble, just let it off your shoulders, just let it go. You will experience something very profound and incredible. Go ahead.
Sorry, you're freezing a little bit.
Oh, so go ahead. You were about to say something?
I don't really know what I was going to say, actually.
About people being unhealed and that's why they won't listen, maybe.
I think that people they don't have the knowledge or the tools. It's like self can't heal self. Like if you're sick, you need outside help to help you. You can't fix it yourself. You need, like when I was in AA for all that time, I had to go to those meetings because I had that problem. I couldn't fix myself. I needed outside help, and it's all about God. I mean, honestly, it's really about God.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that most people believe in God, but I don't believe that they use God the way they should. I think that people are, I don't know. They don't have the willingness or the ability to learn more, and it's like they're so in their own little bubble. They're not expanding themselves. They just live life so robotic and repetition and the same little routine every day. They don't think maybe I need to work on this or maybe I need to work on that.
Yeah, they're just not putting the effort in. They're just defending
Maybe this is
they're just defending their viewpoint.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they have strong opinions, and especially about this whole, jab thing. They all think it's good. Like most of the people I talk to think it's a good thing and that they're being noble. I'm doing it for the good of humanity, is what they tell me. I'm doing it for my fellow man. I'm doing it to be helpful to society. That's how they see it.
That's crazy.
Because they're kind-hearted, most people are very kind-hearted people and they want to do good, but they don't.
They're just brainwashed. They're just completely brainwashed.
And
they think, yeah, completely. They're believing all the nonsense. And I look at them and I'm like, oh my gosh, do you know how many children you're killing by taking that shot? By going along with all this madness? You're not saving the world. You're taking us down.
Can you imagine about all the people that actually learn about this, that are actually the ones giving it?
Oh, they're going to feel so bad.
Yeah.
They're going to feel, I know doctors who don't even know they don't even know what's in it or anything. They haven't done anything about it. They just give it. I'm a doctor. I know. I'm a doctor. I know. And it's like, no, you're a doctor and you don't know. You don't know anything.
I told you about what my skin doctor. I told you about my skin doctor. My skin doctor, when I went to my dermatologist, and he was like, put that mask up over your nose. And then he said, have you had the V? And I said, well, hell no, I'm not going to take that thing. And then I said, I kind of got a little cheeky with him and he got upset with me. I've dedicated my whole life to medicine, and I'm like, well, you know what? We're not going to talk about this because you're wrong. So we're going to just shut up right now. That's what I told him. So we're not going to talk about it because you're wrong.
Yeah.
And then I kind of rude to him that probably shouldn't say on camera. I said, you probably think that B is president too, didn't you? That's what I said to him. He just looked at me. President too, don't you? I did.
Well, we're just going to have to be there for them when they start waking up. So luckily you're planting seeds. You're planting seeds. So that's what's
when
important.
I talk about aliens, people really think I'm crazy.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they really don't.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, I don't know about that. So I'm like sending videos of all these. I'm always like sharing these people that have been abducted, by the Greys. And they tell their story.
They're so far behind evolution right now. They're going to have to do a massive catch up. So anyway, without getting into all of that, thank you so much for the inspiration today. Thank you. Hopefully you've encouraged some store owners to maybe change their policy, to maybe stop volunteering with the madness and the tyranny and the drive to make us communist pedophiles.
Well, that's what I was saying is with the store owners, if they do the research and they have the knowledge, then they can stand up and say no. But not until they know what's going on. They have to be educated and really know what's going on, the truth of it, before they can stand up and say no.
Right.
That's the way I feel about it.
Well, I hope that some people have a more open mind. Maybe they were open. If you were open enough, if you had an opposite opinion And if you believe that the V's were very, good for you and beneficial, all that kind of stuff, nonsense, and you've watched this video because you knew Pam or me or whatever, thank you so much for watching and having an open enough mind to really consider what we're talking about. And please reach out to us and ask us to give you some more information, or if you don't want to talk to us about it, your ego won't let you do that, then go ahead and just go to bitshoot.com and just start looking up some information on some of this stuff. Look up the video that we referenced earlier and just, this is wrong. You guys know that this is wrong. And there's got to be a mechanism in you. The God part of you is got to be like, there is something seriously wrong here. Your intuition's got to be, so listen to that little voice, listen to your gut, and be willing to go against the grain and go against all the, everybody else. If everybody else would go run off a cliff, would you? Well, you're all doing it. You're all doing it. So yeah, we need to not listen to what anybody else is doing. And we need to be willing to be the one person in 500 that are, standing in our strength, and we're going to make the difference. We're going to help people to wake up if we can be strong.
The other day I was seeing that the current president only has like a 30% approval rate. And I was like, well, that's a good thing. At least that people are starting to see what a mess up he is, like, come on.
Well, he's, yeah.
It's a joke. Yeah. Like everything about him is a joke.
Yeah. And that might be alarming for some people to hear. What do you mean? And well, how about this one? There is no president. How about this one? There is no government, really. How about this one? It's like, we haven't had constitution or the constitutional rights for many years. We're not even the United States. I mean, there's so much to it. You can just keep going down that rabbit hole.
And before I was awake, I thought that the government was good, and I thought that they had our best interest. I really did. And I thought, they're here to help us. And then I just started like sinking in. Oh my gosh.
Maybe they're not.
They're really not to help us. And that's scary. I mean, honestly, that's very scary.
I think that what people need to ask themselves is, why would that be happening? Because I had all kinds of people through the years try to wake me up and try to tell me, oh, do you know this is going on and that's going on and that's going on? And I would just be like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, it didn't make any sense to me. But then if I would have just asked, well, why would they be doing that? That's when they would have gotten to me. If they would have explained the why, then I would have listened to them and I would have believed it. But we all wake up when we wake up.
Right.
So it takes a lot of little seeds to make something finally sprout.
Yeah. And I think people want to know the truth. I think that
I do too. So we'll get there. We're getting there.
I want to know it. Yeah. But yeah, it'll all be good in the end.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your contribution to this world. And for doing what you're doing right now.
Anytime.
And thank you on behalf of the animals
Oh.
as well, the animals that you're helping save right now.
Love my little babies. Yes.
All right. Well, have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for being on with us and sharing your story, your beautiful story with us. And thank you for those of you who are watching, and have yourselves a beautiful day, and watch out for my next talk. Bye.
Bye.
Oh.
Look at her. She's getting so big. Look at her.
Hi, sweetie.
I was sleeping, Mom.
Oh, sleepy girl.
Isn't she cute?
What's her name?
Layla.
Layla.
She's like, Mom, I hate this. What are you doing to me?
Hi, Layla.
She's like 40 pounds now. She's a big girl.
Oh, what a sweetie pie. Oh,
there he is.
Hi, sweetie.
But I got a home today.
There. You got a home today. Yay.
He got adopted today.
Oh,
he's my last baby left. Oh, and there's the other one. She's in the basket. Hang on.
Oh,
I can't even tell if you can see it.
when
So
are
messed up.
when is his parents coming for him?
There. You see,
Oh, hi, sweetie.
you
Oh,
see her? See her? She got adopted, but she's been sick, so I took her back for a few days.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
oh, that's so awesome. I love that setup.
thanks. It works. I like it.
Mhm.
So anyway, yeah, where the clients sit,
Mhm.
and then we're actually on a very busy highway. So
Where-
this,
Okay.
so this is when they come in. This is like, can you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
And then I have 2 exam rooms,
Okay.
and well,
Mhm.
oh, and then this is my treatment area.
Nice.
And then this back here is my surgery area.
Oh,
This
wow.
is where my desk and all my surgery stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, see it?
Awesome.
My ultrasound.
There,
And
go
then I have,
down, look down with the camera a little bit. There we go. Okay. Good.
this is my new laser. that needs to
Awesome.
be off, my new ultrasound, my anesthesia, my surgery table,
Okay.
my little desk that I do all my paperwork because I do all my own bills. And then it's dark back here, but this is where all my cats are. So
Hey,
this is
guys.
my cat room.
Aw, hey, guys.
You see them?
Hello. Yeah. Beautiful babies.
They're like, what the flip?
Hi,
You see Sugar?
Sugar. You're so
Can you see her?
sweet.
I can't tell if you
Yeah.
can see her. Okay.
Yeah.
There's Annie.
Down a little bit. There we go. Hi, Annie.
She's my
Hello,
girl right there.
sweet pie.
And there's
Aw.
Sun. So I've made this whole room into a cat room.
Aw, that's awesome.
There's Zelda. She's 20 years old.
Oh, oh,
You see her?
yes.
She's 20.
Oh, so sweet.
And there's Minnie.
Hi, Minnie.
She was a rescue cat. They're all rescues. Anyway, and I have like a little, I don't know if you can see this little bulldog in here. Can you see
Hey,
her?
baby.
So anyway,
Hi, how are you?
Do your cat sound. You're so good at it.
I love it.
They really respond to that.
Look at him looking at you. You're so cute. Anyway,